You are Aruddha, right?
Yes.
Aruddha, my first question is to you. What's the significance of the internal dialogue that we play and how it shapes our life?
Okay, sir. So, in my view, in today's world, the overall lifestyle of a human being is very much complex. Like what we are thinking, we can't say or express it in the purest way in most of the cases, because if we do that, that will ruin many of the situations we face day to day. So we have to modify what we are thinking and present that modified version in front of people surrounding us. So in this procedure, what happens is that there is a difference between what we want to do or want to say and what we actually do or say, and this difference creates a instability in our mindset. And when the things we are doing or we are saying, actually we are expressing, and what we are thinking in our inner world, when these two things matches, a human being actually feels the real joy of living. And in this state of mind, he can achieve everything, and the negativity that comes towards him throughout the surrounding he is, that doesn't at all affect his doings. So and in this process, the inner dialogue plays a very important role, because we all know that a human being can lie to anyone but not himself. So in his inner dialogue, what he is considering, what he is processing, it is actually the truth. What he is saying to himself is actually what he wants to say. And the more it is, the more frequently a human being speaks to himself, converses with him about things he sees or experiences in his day-to-day life, the more he talk about it with himself, the more the things become clearer to him, and the more he becomes the more the things become understandable for him through the inner dialogue, he actually processes the world in a better way. Because when you know yourself better than most of the people, you can actually judge, not judge, but you can actually process the world, process the people around you, process the things they say and the context behind it in a better way. So I think in this case, the inner dialogue that is there between a human being and his soul, it plays an important role in our day-to-day life.
Fantastic. Now, though, you say that as you are one of the brightest students of Bushirat, so what would you like to suggest to the young generation, that how they can be very good student and they can bloom up in their educational life?
Okay, sir. So the first thing is that in the education system that currently exists, everyone is running behind the marks, and they can get marks through multiple ways, like suggestions from the teachers. There are I have seen students who are actually connecting well with the teachers and getting good marks as well. So there are multiple ways, but there are very few people they are actually who are actually focusing on understanding the things well and learning things in a slower but steadier way. But I have seen like in my experience, like the people who are senior to me and also the people who are junior to me, there are a few people who did this thing, like understanding things well in a slower way. They were initially a bit scratchy, but when they understood the things, the complete context really well, they blew up really well, and they stood apart in a whole class. So I think that this thing is the most important thing, like, yeah, the understanding of everything which is there. Like there is a concept of previous year question, or the frequently asked things. Like there are some things that teachers ask more than other things. So because of that, people also focus on those things and don't at all touch the things that are not that much relevant in terms of exam point of view. But when you learn something in a partial way and for just clearing the exam, that thing will benefit you in a short term, but in long term that will actually make you like not that much relevant in that field, because when you don't have the complete knowledge, you are going to fail apart. So the only thing I want to say that in any possible way, students should always try to understand all the things that are there to be understood, and after that understanding they can focus on exams, they can follow the suggestions as well, but the first thing should be understanding.
And now you say that we all know that nowadays the biggest problem that we are encountering in every walk of our life, even it is very much applicable for the students, that they are always bombarded with other thoughts,
Yes.
and they're not focused because of the you can say like they're actually engaged with mindless scrolling with mobile phones, or like their mind is pulled into different directions other than being focused. So how a student can cope up with this?
So, sir, the first thing is that the all the electronic gadgets that we have, like mobile phones or computers, television, all these things, we know these things make us much more distracted. But we can't actually ignore the significance of these tools in our day-to-day life, because without a mobile phone, you can't connect with people, and you will actually fall apart without all these services. So we have to use these things, but the thing is that other than using these things in a better way, we sometimes, not sometimes, in most of the cases, we use these things for like you said, like mindless scrolling or watching things which are not that much relevant in this point of time. So I think the thing that someone can do is that they can fix a particular time for doing anything he or she wants on that mobile phone, on the social media platform, like scrolling or watching videos on anything. But there should be a time limit and a particular time in a day, just for that only. And on that time, or she shouldn't actually be bothered about all the things that are going on there. They should do what they want to do in that time period. But when that time ends, they should be doing what is necessary at that point of time and do something productive which will in future be a beneficial thing. But there is another problem, like the mindset, like human beings are not designed to shift their minds in seconds. Like it is not possible for anyone to shift their mind from a joyful state to a stressful state, like studying or anything like that. So I think the most practical way of dealing with this is to start with things which we are good at, which don't require that much mental work to deal with. So after this time period, when we are scrolling or watching videos online, we should start with the things which we are good at, and in that case we will build some momentum as well, and that would not take that much mental stress as well. So when we are able to shift our mind from the joyful state to the steady state, then we can jump to the moderate and hard topics that we have to study that day. So I think the first thing we should do is to start from the easy ones according to ourselves, and then push forward for the intermediate and hard ones.
Now you say that as I know you for a long time, once you were a regular student of Bharat Sevasram Sangho, and then for your academic shift, you were not able to join the offline class, and then you got yourself shifted to online class.
Yes.
And then you know that after a certain point of time, that I came to a realization that I get back home being worn out, and I'm not able to continue the online class. And then I gave this message to my students that I won't be able to continue this anymore. And even after that, you wanted to have the opportunity to stick to this class, and finally you are again here. So in spite of being able to speak English, what's the reason behind your this self drive to be here for so long time?
Okay, so the thing that I personally think is that knowing English or knowing any other language and being fluent in speaking or listening into it, they are completely different things. Like there are many people who are really well in the theoretical aspect of English. They know the grammatical portion, the literature portion really well, better than most of the people around us. But when it comes to speaking, in there are actually many factors, like there are people who have the fear of the stage. There are people who are not actually comfortable to speak in front of a lot of people. And there is also another thing, like when they try to speak, in spite of having a great amount of knowledge in that subject, they couldn't find the words, the string of words which will come one by one. So for this they couldn't speak that well. So in my case also, I when I was a regular student in offline mode, I was like I was fluent in speaking, and the words came through my mouth without thinking about them. So I was able to express myself in a better way in that time period. When I was also in the online mode, I was also at that time I was able to express myself in the same way I was doing in online mode. But when the gap of 1 or 2 months came, and I realized that in spite of in spite of experiencing all those classes in the last 1 or 2 years, I am still lacking the fluency which I used to have. And with time I would lose the fluency exponentially. So I thought that just without wasting time, I should complete the semester exams, and when it comes to an end, I will join again.
Which thing would you like to suggest to the hesitant speakers and the beginners who are actually not able to take the decision whether they are actually very much confused? They think that whether this one is their cup of tea or not, or whether they will really be able to speak English or not. Which message would you like to give them?
So, sir, like we are Bengalis and we all speak Bengali in a fluent way. It can be grammatically right or wrong, that is a different thing, but we all speak it and we are able to communicate with others. So, the main objective of spoken English is to communicate with others in an efficient way. We not necessarily be grammatically correct in all the situations, but if we are able to communicate, we are able to express our thoughts to someone in front of us in the most efficient way, then our job is done. So the thing is, being grammatically well is not that much of a necessity for the preliminary stages. So I think that anyone who knows English, and we all know that from the elementary classes we learn English. So so most of the people they know English, which is necessary for speaking purposes. The only thing they lack is the practice, the guidance, and the courage to speak in front of people. So for that, I think they should start practicing all those things. They should start challenging their limits, And when they come to a situation when there is no choice than to speak in front of all these people, they will fail for one or two times, but after that they will be familiar with the techniques which are necessary to speak in front of all people. And uh, after experiencing one or two more such situations, they will be fluent in front of fluent speaking in front of people. So I think every there is no human being who can't speak in a particular language just for the lack of knowledge. The only challenge they have is the lack of courage, and if they can manage to gather themselves in front of a lot of people and try speaking, challenge their limits, then they can surely get rid of the situation and be able to speak in English in a fluent manner.
Fantastic. So this conversation was really an empowering one for all of us.